If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to Downfall Network for more cool content. What's up, everyone? Thralls here once again. I'm Necrotic Nick.
I'm Shredlord.
And we have an album review for you, or rather an EP review. So again, towards the beginning of December, end of the year, not a lot of releases come out, but this
Slow season.
This is pretty much where we're all figuring out our year-end lists, and believe me, those are coming. But we found a couple of releases out there we definitely wanted to cover, and this was definitely one of them. Soliwork put out their new EP, Whisp of the Atlantic. This comes out on the 4th of December on Nuclear Blast Records, and this is probably one of the most essential bands, I'd say, in the whole Gothenburg metal, the whole melodic death metal scene. Definitely a standout band in that whole thing, too, because their clean vocals and that kind of mix of power metal and melodic death metal and thrash and trad, like, it's all kind of there.
They've got a wide palette to draw from, and they draw from it well. And this EP is absolutely no exception. The very first track on this EP is a 16-minute and like 49-second...
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's like over 16 minutes. And they throw everything but the kitchen sink as far as styles, arrangements. They put in everything, and like Necrotic and I were talking, he said easily he thinks this is their most adventurous song they've ever really written as far as...
I really think so.
Composition.
In terms of like single songs, yes, this might be the longest song they've ever written, and I mean... I wasn't going to go through all their stuff because I own most of it, and I was like, man, that's a lot of just track times to sift through.
Yeah.
But I don't think they've ever written a song this long, and this definitely, kind of takes them out of their wheelhouse a little bit. I mean, it's still unmistakably them. You can definitely tell it's Soilwork.
But they push it a little bit.
They do. They do. There's elements
a little bit
of...
more Dream Theater-y.
Yes, that was the first band I wrote down.
Yeah, there's a big Dream Theater influence on this album for sure. I think they should have taken the Dream Theater approach, though. 16-minute songs, some bands can pull it off. Dream Theater can pull it off.
They have.
And Soilwork pulled it off, but I felt like it could have been 2 songs, or if nothing else, it could have been 1 song, but labeled as 2 movements. And if you listen to it, maybe you'll understand why I felt that way. But
it definitely has movements.
Yeah, it definitely moves in pieces or segments, and to me there's a defined break even in right after about the 7-8 minute mark. There's a defined break and almost a silence that could have been the end and then the beginning of a new track. Just saying.
Yeah, at the same time, they bring back a lot of elements within that song. Like there is the main groovy riff that comes in. That
you can always come back to that.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Especially in a long prog song.
Oh, this is definitely that. You have elements of almost jazz fusion there. There's trumpets. There's strings. There's even a black metal section on this song.
Yes,
it's really all over the place, but it flows really well. And the way I listen to this, because I don't have iTunes or anything like that, I watched all the videos that they did for every single song, and there's a weird narrative to them, except for maybe this one. This is kind of its own little separate story, but it's a really interesting song in terms of how it ebbs and flows. It's really built well, and this is definitely them kind of flexing their muscles a bit. Even Speed does some different stuff vocally. His vibrato is more pronounced. Some of his deeper vocals are a little bit grittier. And again, this is one of the most ambitious things I think they've done. They've pulled it off right here. Now, the rest of the album is also good. It's
more traditionally
Soliwork
comprised, yeah.
But this one, I think they should have put at the back of the album overall, just because it feels like the grand closer, like the big opus.
Yeah, this was definitely the standout track on the entire EP.
Hard to overlook a 16-minute track.
Yeah, and it was done really well. So yeah, it's like they definitely blew their load. I mean, there's still plenty left in the tanks for the rest of the EP, but the money shot was right away.
Oh yeah, Feverish though, I think is definitely a standout in here.
Did the keyboards not bring out some...
Dude.
To me, it's out in the cold, Turbo era, Judas Priest, dude.
Dude, Judas Priest is all over this. The Nothingness and the Devil also has some distinctly Judas Priest riffs to it. It just screams Painkiller, but also has the synthy stuff in there too.
Yes.
And the synths on here are really good. They're not overdone. I mean, they're almost always present, but it kind of ebbs and flows in terms of how like present they are in one part versus another part. Sometimes they're just sort of backing, sometimes they're taking the lead. And the songs, they really do it well in like Feverish. The synth intro really kind of sets the vibe, like it has that 80s like kind of
definitely.
John
But then it goes
Carpenter.
into blast beats.
Yes. And it's kind of cool, like, there aren't many bands out there that can pull off clean vocals on top of blast beats. I think Opeth did it, you know, the Lotus Eater, gorgeous song. But this isn't the first time Soilwork's done it, and almost every time they've done it really well.
Yeah.
And again, these guys know how to craft a hook. Giant choruses, you know, kind of like balancing between like harsher vocals on verses, or even harsher vocals on the chorus versus a clean verse. The vocal dynamics are always a big part of Soliwork, and Feverish is one that they really nail it on.
Yeah, that's a standout track too. The intro to Death Diviner has an excellent riff to begin the song. It was a good song, but I think my least favorite song was probably the track Desperado.
Yeah, that one it's short, it's energetic, it's kind of thrashy, but I mean, it kind of just feels like a B-side from their last album. Like, this one didn't quite make the cut, but we want to give it its own place.
Plus, it's an EP, even though it's
36 minutes long.
It's damn near 40 minutes. It's an album. I mean, it's bullshit to call this an EP. Rain and Blood is less than 30 minutes. It's an album.
It's
this
beautiful.
is 36 fucking minutes, and it gets to be an EP. It's a little mislabeled to me. This definitely has more of an album feel to me, especially if they would have put the long track at the back half.
Yeah.
But honestly, I was just glad Desperado wasn't an Eagles cover.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
I thought it would have been really weird to hear a cover of Desperado. It's almost
I
like,
want to hear it now.
you know, when the Contortionists did, what was it, 1979 by the
yeah.
Smashing Pumpkins? Not really that crazy about that, sorry.
That was the only song I liked on that EP.
I thought
honestly.
it was going to be like Soilwork's, like their version of Desperado by the Eagles, and I was like, fuck. And then when I listened to it and realized that it wasn't Desperado by the Eagles, I was like, whoo!
I kind of want to hear him do it now. I honestly do. But
Why don't you come to your senses?
But I mean, I really like that song. It's just, it feels extra. And honestly, I mean, if you remove that song, you'd still have a long EP, but I think it'd feel more like an EP.
Yes.
But when it comes down to like delivering Soliwork sound, of course, Soliwork nailed it. Like, this is unmistakably them, but I like the like extra stuff they throw in there. Like, it definitely feels maybe more like cinematic or something like that in spots. Like, there's more atmosphere to this. And I think Speed is the only original member left, but he's kept this thing going, and they're still churning out really good stuff. Newest member on here is the drummer, and while he isn't Dirk, Dirk is kind of a really rare specimen as far as drummers. Like, he has so
Which
many...
is why this Megadeth album's going to be sweet.
Yep, the new Cadaver album's also a killer too. But he's doing a good job in here. He's like kind of playing more to his strengths. I think they've kind of let him venture out a bit. But this is a really strong offering, and I really didn't expect it. I was kind of wondering why they had all these like one-off videos. I wasn't sure if they were actually going to put out something, but you know, why not? Because apparently they had some really cool spare songs in their pocket. So overall, I'm going to give this 4 stars. I dig this EP. I think it's a good continuation of pretty much what they were doing on the last album, with even some more bravado. The title track is, again, probably the most ambitious thing they've done, and this late in their career. I believe they have 11 studio albums, and they've been doing this for, God, since 1996, I believe. So way to just like push the envelope this far in your career, and yeah, they put out a pretty solid EP here. I'm definitely gonna get it.
I always talk about my gripe with EPs.
This guy.
And this could have been an album, but I'm not gonna take anything away because of it. I'm also gonna give this a 4 out of 5. Take something away, call it an EP, add a couple songs, let's call it an album. I don't care. Tomato, tomato at this point.
Somewhere in between.
It was really solid. I am interested to hear what the full album will sound like. One thing I didn't really get to touch on is the leads are really cool. There's a lot of cool leads on here.
They're very short.
They're very short. They're definitely tasteful. I'd like to see maybe the album have more constructed solos. It just seemed like, they say a good solo tells a story. This just sounds like it was some really cool musical thoughts. I'd like to hear some better storytelling out of the leads, but the style is very Steve Vai-esque, very fusion-y, which I thought was very cool to listen to. I love that. If you put Steve Vai type leads over death metal, I mean, Jesus Christ, that's a marriage I want to see. It's time. Okay. Anyway, yeah, this Soilwork EP is excellent for fans of Soilwork. You're gonna eat this shit up because we did.
Yeah.
And yeah, 4 out of 5 all day. The hopefully full album. We'll just continue on this excellent path. So this is it. Finito. The end. However, if you like what you saw here and you are not yet a member of the Thralls community, please hit the like and subscribe button on our videos. Also, if you notice the little bell dingy 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 ding dong to let you know when we put out new content, because we put out new content all the goddamn time. It is wild. So thank you guys for sitting here and listening to us drabble. We are the Thralls of Metal. I am Shredlord.
Necrotic Nick.
And we will catch you later.